This is Joy News Prime, available across Europe on London-based ABN television. My name is Israel Lai. In this edition, Black Stars to get additional $25,000 per player, an additional bonus for AFCON exploits. New Patriotic Party to stage demonstration next Wednesday to protest worsening power crisis. Family of expectant mother whose baby went missing at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital to go to court to seek redress a year after the incident. National Development Planning Commission Chairman promises better life for Ghanaians once National Transformation Agenda is implemented. And students of Bembela SHS in the northern region tell us what it tastes like dining under trees. We also have business, sports and international news all coming up in the next 60 minutes. Do stay tuned. In our very first story, the opposition New Patriotic Party says it will next Wednesday stage a demonstration to protest the worsening power crisis in the country. The demonstration comes on the back of increasing public outcry over the worsening power situation which is affecting businesses and individuals.
President John Mahama has consistently assured Ghanaians his administration is doing everything possible to resolve the power crisis. But assurances are yet to materialize as the Electricity Company of Ghana recently intensified its load shedding program, which will see residential areas be without power for 24 hours. The opposition New Patriotic Party, however, says government has failed in this light. At a press conference in Accra, the party's General Secretary said the NDC's failure in the energy sector is a clear demonstration of its incompetence.
The government continues to show their inability to deal with the energy crisis. It's important to recognize that when the MPP was leaving office in 2009, we bequeathed to this government enough generating capacity. So the question cannot be that of generating capacity. It's more of poor management of the economy, and with it, an inability to import the necessary crude that is required to power our generation plants. This situation becomes all the more mind-boggling when we consider the massive amounts of resources that has been available to this administration over the last 6 years.
Communications Director of the New Patriotic Party, Nana Akomia, says the NPP would not have allowed the situation to degenerate to this level if they were in power.
In the meantime that the problem has come, you must put in emergency generation. You must bring in barges that have electricity available. When you are building a plant, it will take about 18 months. So you build the plants for the next 2 years, 3 years. But immediately, you have to bring in generators, barges. Now, it's not that the government says it's going, yes, but 3 years down the line, 3 years, people are dying on a regular basis. I mean, as for businesses that have collapsed, jobs that have been lost, now people are dying because of this doom. So 3 years, and it's not that you're going to bring in the generators.
Meanwhile, a group calling itself Concerned Ghanaians has also announced it will embark on a demonstration on Independence Day, March 6th, over the worsening energy crisis. The government has meanwhile described as narrow the opposition party's plan to demonstrate using the current energy crisis as a flagship concern. Deputy Information Minister Felix Kwachil told Joy News the MPP is trying to harvest genuine sentiment of Ghanaians to achieve narrow interest. He explained government had spelled out clear, measurable ways to deal with the crisis in a systematic manner, and referred to the importation of 2 power barges that will add 450 megawatts to the national grid. Government, it says, has also signed contracts and agreements to increase power generation capacity to 5,000 megawatts under the power subsector by 2016. Now, the chairman of the National Development Planning Commission, in another development, Dr. Kwesi Bochwe, is promising a better life for Ghanaians once the National Transformation Agenda is fully implemented. The development agenda, which is currently before Parliament, is expected to be passed this year for implementation to begin. Speaking at the Ghana Transformation Forum, the NDPC chair reiterated Ghana's potential to move from its current lower middle income status to a high income status due to the amount of resources it has available.
Discussions at the forum centered on the successes and challenges the country faces in a number of areas, including the setting of a national vision and strategy, public and private sector collaboration, and providing a business-friendly environment that will help improve the economy of African countries. Countries such as Ethiopia, Kenya, Mauritius and Rwanda shared their transformational agenda and the impact it has had on their development. A professor of tourism and deputy director of the Amity Institute of Higher Education in Mauritius, Professor Ramesh Debri, noted that there can be no major transformation in a country's development if there's no change in attitude.
Mauritius has moved from a monocrop economy to currently we are expanding our financial sector, but all down come to the investment in different sectors. We started with the textile industry, but when the professional rates were going off, then we started investing in tourism, and from tourism we're expanding in the financial services, and now from the financial services we're investing in the ICT. But at the same time, in parallel, what we have done is we have invested significantly in human capital. For example, in Mauritius we have free education right from the pre-primary to the tertiary, and even transport is free for education. So anybody, there's no excuse to have a good education up to the age of minimum 16 years old. So Mauritius invests a lot in human capacity.
NDPC chairman Dr. Kwesi Botri is confident Ghana has the needed resources to achieve its set development targets. Former MP for New Drabin, Hakman Osuajemat, however, says some of the targets are ambitious and will need discipline to achieve.
Our history must inform our way forward, and I believe that some of the targets certainly cannot be achieved. If you want to achieve 10% when you are at 3.9, you have a difficulty there. But I think that what we need to do is to now try to work out the finer details. But most importantly, see, in all the countries which have seen transformation, Rwanda, now Ethiopia, now Kenya, there's a concerted effort to fight corruption, to make sure that projects designed to improve, to transform the economy are not inflated. And unless the leadership wakes up to this fact and begins to ensure that we are giving good value for money, we will not be able to get there.
Organizers of the forum, Africa Center for Economic Transformation Assets, are confident sharing best practices with neighboring countries will better inform policy making in their respective countries.
For us, transformation is growth and depth, which is diversification, export competitiveness, productivity increases, technology upgrading, and then human well-being improvement, which is creating jobs and income. I mean, what ASET has done, we've identified 6 thematic areas that we think are important to Ghana, and we've commissioned very in-depth research and analysis on what is the situation, what are the prospects, what's going on now in the country in practical terms, where are the challenges and what could be done about them. We are hoping that from what people heard here this morning, when we go on in the breakout session in the afternoon, it could inform them in addressing the specific issues.
The Ghana Transformational Forum will end on Wednesday, February 11, 2015. Etonamse, Joy News.
In other news, a former president of the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association who was arrested for his alleged involvement in sandbox fraud has been released on bail. Dr. Chunebwa was arrested a few weeks ago with 16 others accused of illegally terminating international calls to the country, thereby depriving telecommunication companies and the state huge sums of revenue. The Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service told journalists upon Dr. Chunebwa's arrest the state lost about $33 million in taxes through the operations of the grader boss and his accomplices. He has pleaded not guilty to the charge of sandbox fraud. Staying with the courts, the trial of the former boss of the National Service Secretariat, Alhaji Alhassan Imoro, has been adjourned for a month. This was after state prosecutors pleaded with the court to allow it to conclude investigations into the matter. The case has therefore been adjourned to Thursday, March 12, 2015. Alhaji Imoro is standing trial for allegedly misappropriating some 86 million Ghana cedis of monies meant for the National Service Secretariat in payment made to ghost names. He has, however, denied the charge and is on a 90 million Ghana cedis bail awaiting the commencement of his trial. The case was adjourned for the third time on Tuesday, and the defense is not very happy about it. In an interview after the court proceedings, lead counsel for the accused, Dennis Ejejumo, said the constant adjournments are frustrating his client's efforts to clear his name.
Not a frustration for ourselves, but for our client. An instance where you are made to come to court every time and you are being asked to come back another day because the state has not completed the investigation. It raises a bigger issue with our system of criminal justice system, where the state has not completed an investigation but still decide to use you guys to make the whole world feel that you have committed a wrong, but yes, is not ready to prosecute same. So for now, they have asked for adjournment. We have obliged them the adjournment. We'll wait to see what happens at the next agenda, because currently I've turned the court into a court of adjournment. We just come and we adjourn the cases, but we'll wait and see what happens at the next agenda.
The minority in Parliament is demanding independent investigations into the Nayeli Amethupe cocaine saga a month after she was sentenced in the United Kingdom on drug trafficking charges. Nayeli Amethupe is currently serving an 8-year jail term in London, with her alleged accomplices here in Ghana also on trial. But the minority insists the issue is far from over.
At a news conference Tuesday, its spokesperson on foreign affairs, Isaac Osei, said there are many unanswered questions that require an independent probe.
Indeed, the least we expected for the minister was to tell us what measures the ministry was putting in place to ensure that the VIP and VVIP lounges are truly reserved for our most senior officials and people, and to condemn in no uncertain terms this despicable act of exporting a narcotic drug through a restricted area of our airport. We must have in place strict protocols which ought to be published and strictly followed. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, a lot of information, as you know, has trended on social media on this matter, and some names have come up as being complicit in this cocaine affair. It is important for government to open up an independent public investigations into this matter. Secondly, and perhaps of increasing importance, is that our sole concentration on catching those who export cocaine leaves us with little cover on cocaine imports into Ghana. Every Ghanaian knows that cocaine is not produced in Ghana.
He also preferred a solution to the drug problem within the West African sub-region.
Ghana's coastal security mechanisms are not strong enough to prevent the exit and entry of drugs, and it is therefore easy for drug cartels to operate here. We have to upgrade our naval resources and work with our international partners who seek to prevent the drugs entering their countries to feed existing and future demand. Our fear is that when drugs continue to come in and its exit to their final destination restricted, traffickers will develop and grow a domestic market for the drugs. Already, all of you know that there are user communities in Ghana. We know that drugs, arms and ammunition, deviant behavior, societal breakdown, all these are bedfellows. And Ghana has to show a stronger determination and political will to fight this menace now or face an adverse socioeconomic situation and political difficulties going forward.
The party at the news conference, which touched on many sectors of the economy, stated Ghanaians have lost trust in the government's handling of the economy, especially the power crisis.
As for Dumso, government has complicated a very simple matter, and no one believes what they say anymore. We simply don't trust them. They don't understand the cost to individuals, businesses, and the country. Mr. President, Dumso is destroying our appliances at home. It is killing off our manufacturing industries. It's jeopardizing the employment for our young men and women, and it's encouraging capital flight.
Isaac Osei also accused government of failing to tell Ghanaians the quantum of debt the National Petroleum Authority owed, hence its failure to further reduce fuel prices.
You're watching Joy News Prime here on Joy News on Multi TV. We'll be back in a bit. The relatives of the woman whose baby went missing at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital last year say they are ready to go to court over the matter. They grieve the Ministries of Health as well as Gender, Children and Social Protection have failed to secure justice for Suwaiba Abdul Mumin. Family members also accused the two ministries of failing to fulfill a promise to provide psychological support to her. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin reports.
It's been 1 year since 36-year-old Madam Suwaiba gave birth at the Konfanochi Hospital, but she is yet to know the whereabouts of the body of the baby officials say was stillborn. She has neither received formal communication from the Ministry of Health on the outcome of investigations. Suwaiba and her family are unhappy they have been ignored. Mohammed Abdul Rahman is spokesperson
to the family, or once call the family and Suwaiba, thinking of how to move on, but we never heard anything since then, and we've been waiting to hear from the ministries. Nothing has come out from them, and the police too. We have heard nothing from their investigations. It's been that the state institutions had a plan that they wanted to scratch each other's back so that they would tone down the issue, and it's like they are realizing what they wanted to do is coming to pass, and the family too is anxiously waiting for Parliament to come out with a report. Parliament came in along the line that they were going to conduct some investigation with the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health. Fortunately for us, the chairman of the Health Committee in Parliament is our Member of Parliament. We have contacted him and told us that Parliament is working on it. We've not heard anything from their side. We have approached the municipal, the chief executive, to the same old story that they are working on it.
Suwaiba's case caused a national stir when doctors claimed her baby had died but failed to produce the body. The Health Ministry investigations indicted some hospital staff who were subsequently suspended. At the time, the family insisted the body of the baby must be produced dead or alive. Parliament came in to find answers to the mystery, but that never materialized. Suwaiba is disappointed in the leadership of the country.
Big time disappointed, not the family alone. People call us not to listen to whoever comes on board again. If we have to fight, we should fight on. They will support us in every way, financially, spiritually, morally. They will support us. So this time when anybody comes on board, we should just forget them and fight on.
She insists The family will pursue the matter to its utmost end.
Right, so we've been getting some reaction from the Ministry of Health to the issue that the family says it wants to go to court over the matter. Tony Goodman is a public relations officer at the Ministry of Health. He says that if the family indeed wants to go to court, they can go ahead.
That is for you and I to still discuss and inform her about the decision that came out of that investigation. You see, it is if you are interviewing somebody and the person is raising questions, what is more important is you have to also refer to some words that were done. But if you allow the person to talk without informing the person about what really happened, it is not everybody that goes to court or goes to an institution where you are supposed to seek justice that is happy. It's not all of us that at times are okay with some decisions that can, but that is the law. That is what happens there. If you think you are not happy, then go a step further to seek other review or clarification. So we cannot just say because they're not happy, we'll just go and do things on our institutions were set up by law, and when it comes to dealing with some of those cases, you go through an appropriate institution to do it. I'm saying that if he feels that what was done is not the best, he can go to an appropriate institution to seek justice.
Which institution will be appropriate in this case?
That I cannot say. Those who are
Isn't the Ministry of Health one of those appropriate institutions for her to bring her case to?
We have done ours, and according to you, she's not happy with what the ministry did. So I'm saying that there are other institutions that we can go to seek justice as well.
Tony,
if I should say that, what we did was the best, it shouldn't go anywhere, then it means that we have something to cover up. That committee came out with a report, and that report was shared with the public.
Right, now, the story about Sueba always stirs some memories. I recall when this incident happened about a year ago, the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, there was the family members of Sueba just went to the hospital and attempted to vandalize the place. I'm joined on the phone line now by Ashanti Regional Correspondent Mahmoud Mohamed Nuruddin. Good evening to you, Mahmoud. Now, it's been a year since this incident happened. Is the hospital, remembering this incident in any way, especially when they were victims of an attack?
Israel.
Yes, Nuruddin.
I hardly hear you.
All right, I'm asking if this incident at the hospital, a year on, is stirring any memories at the hospital at all.
Well, when I went to the hospital today, I have been visiting the hospital on several occasions to find out about certain issues. And today when I went to the hospital, I realized there were some kind of there were some patients who came there. I spoke to them. Actually, it has brought some memories, because when I spoke to some of the patients, especially the pregnant women, they say, it has brought some changes, and they have realized that the nurses have also changed their work towards them and towards them. So they really appreciate the fact that that case, issue was brought up, and the fact that the authorities have, instituted some measures to make sure such similar incident would not happen in the near future. I spoke to them to find out whether they still remember about the incident that happened last year, and they say yes. Anytime they come, they remember about something like that, but they believe since things have been, authorities have intervened and things have been done in that order, they wouldn't experience such a thing at a hospital again.
All right. Now, as part of the sanctions that were meted out to the people who were involved in this case, is the case of this orderly who was interdicted, and apparently he was put on trial. What's the latest on his case?
Well, Israel, the last time they went to court was December 22nd, and the case was adjourned. Information I have gathered revealed that the judge is even is threatening to throw the case out of court because of the prosecution failure to provide evidence in the court. Their reason is that they have presented the docket to the Attorney General's office and they are waiting for response. So until the Attorney General office responds to the docket they presented to them, they wouldn't be able to begin with the case. So anytime they go to court, the case would be adjourned.
All right, thank you very much. You had our Ashanti regional correspondent Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin bringing us up to date on the case of Suwaiba and the missing baby. Now, there's been a lot of news reports about pupils having to hold classes under trees, what has come to be known as the school under trees phenomenon. It is a challenge government has been trying to tackle for years now. But even before that is dealt with, Ama Kojo of Joy News' youth-oriented program News Generation reports it isn't only classrooms that are needing roofs. There are dining halls under trees as well. Here's a story of Bimbila SHS in the northern region.
It's 9 a.m. in Bimibila Senior High School. We are greeted by colorful cups on rows of tables. Yes, it's breakfast. Students wait around for the day's first meal. Then in moments, prefects call out to the table heads. And everyone else. What follows is normal for students, but a surprise for a first-time visitor.
It's very sympathetic because when it's rain, we have to pack all the food to the veranda there and serve it on the floor. Sometimes you can't even identify your plate and someone will mistakenly take your plates away. So that gives us a lot of problems.
You need to go to the class.
Yeah, you have to go like that because since there's no food for you, you have to. And when it's summertime season like this, when the dust blows, everything gets into the food. And then the mango tree too near the dining, when it's a bit rain is blowing, you see that all those small stuff get into the food and you have to take it like that.
When that is over, students set the table for the next meal of the day. The school didn't exactly choose a setting which in some situations would be considered picturesque.
They got the boarding status in 2006 and that makeshift dining hall is there. So we are just making do with what you have said.
If cadets people are not there to help us, if they rush inside, they can take, somebody may take his quality food. So that because of that, we will make sure that we will let the cadets guide all the corners so that the food will serve by the table head so that everybody will come and take his food.
This won't go on for too long as the Ghana Education Trust Fund has just started a dining hall project and hopefully it will be completed before the rainy season starts in April.
Right, so hopefully Bimbila SHS would have their dining hall very, very soon. Up next to bring you business news. To stay tuned.
Time now to get you updated in the world of business. I'm Abby.
By the National Multi-Stakeholder Steering Committee, bring to 10 the total number published since Ghana signed up to the initiative in 2003. The report says the initial net discrepancy in the payment of taxes amounts to over negative 66,000 in 2012 and over $39 million in 2013 for the petroleum sector. Unresolved discrepancies in 2012 amounted to a net of a little over $2,000 compared to over $55 million in 2013. The mining sector in 2012 also had discrepancies of over 3.16 million cedis, whereas 2013 recorded over 3.1 million cedis.
It's not so much the size of the discrepancy, but a lot of times, what are the causes of those discrepancies? You know, some of the discrepancies could be due to exchange rate differences or timing reporting. The timing of the reporting, or receiving the money from the companies, and the time that GRA is also reporting. So some are timing differences, and some are exchange rate differences as well. So you have to get to the causes of the discrepancy. It's not so much the size, but how much of the percentage of the discrepancy is that to the general revenue.
The report, among others, is also recommending an online repository of allocation of blocks by the Petroleum and Minerals Commission.
In most countries internationally, we have an online cadastral system that you can go into and see the licenses, which companies have been allocated, what are the coordinates of those licenses, what are the years of expiration, which year they have been allocated. And these are the best international practices, and we are encouraging the Petroleum Commission to have an online repository of allocation of various licenses in the oil and gas sector as well. And not only the Mineral Commission, the Petroleum Commission, we are also urging the Mineral Commission that has been existing for a long time to do the same.
Head of the civil society groups on the extractive sector, Dr. Steve Mantel, is meanwhile calling for the passage of the Exploration and Production Bill to rectify the discrepancies the report reveals.
Have had about 4 various drafts of the EMP bill, and the fact that it's been laid before Parliament and it's not being addressed as a matter of urgency is a worry to me, especially given that even while it's pending, certain oil blocks have been approved, some agreements have been approved by Parliament under a certificate of urgency, which for me suggests that there is a certain deliberate attempt to escape being caught up by the new EMP bill, which actually commits the country to open bidding rounds.
The 2013 EITI report is a third for the oil and gas sector.
Away from the oil and gas sector, Trade and Industry Minister Dr. Ekos Spiogabra says the Standards Authority can go ahead with the Import Assessment Program, GCAP, only if it can prove it will not result in double inspection. The Ghana Conformity Assessment Program will see imported goods subjected to strict inspection at the original destination to curb the importation of substandard goods into the country. Joy Business gathers the Standards Authority is likely to start implementing the program from April. But Dr. Spiogabra tells Joy Business the ministry will not support any program that will negatively affect the country's business environment. Now, that should come as some good news to importers and exporters who have been against this GCAP implementation. Now, away from that, the World Bank is challenging mining companies to work more closely with independent power producers, IPPs, to meet their growing energy demands. According to the bank, instead of supplying their own energy on site, mines can become a major and reliable customers for the IPPs, which can then develop better infrastructure to bring low-cost power to communities. Now to the international front, U.S. chip maker Qualcomm will pay $975 million to Chinese authorities to end a 14-month antitrust investigation into its patent licensing practices. The fine is the largest in the Chinese corporate history and will require the firm to lower royalty rates on patents used in China's mobile phone market. The move could help Chinese smartphone makers Xiaomi and Huawei. Qualcomm said on Monday it would not contest the ruling that it violated China's anti-monopoly law. Now straight to Greece, and the Greek defense minister has said Greece could turn to the US, Russia or China if it fails to reach a new debt agreement with the Eurozone. Panos Kamonos, who heads the junior coalition partner Independent Greeks, said Greece had an obligation to go to Plan B if proposals are rejected. Greece is preparing to plead its case for a new deal at a meeting of Eurozone finance ministers on Wednesday. It says the terms of its €240 billion bailout are too severe. Last month's election of an anti-austerity government led by left-wing Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras has raised fears that Greece could leave the Eurozone. EU officials have so far rejected his efforts to renegotiate bailout terms, although German Chancellor Angela Merkel has said she will wait to see if Greece puts forward a sustainable proposal on Wednesday. And that'll be all for business. I'm Abigail Adumakwenchi.
Right now, time for some sports, and each of the Black Stars players who participated in the just-ended African Cup of Nations tournament will be getting $25,000 in additional bonuses. The amount announced by President Mahama is apart from what is due the team from government for their participation. The president at the breakfast meeting with the team also asked corporate Ghana to willingly offer reward packages to the team. Gifty Andorapia reports.
GNPC has asked me to announce that they will give a reward of $25,000 to each of you as a reward for the great work that you've done. There are other corporate sponsors who have come forward. We are finalizing the rewards, but they look quite promising and handsome to me. I won't reveal it. I'm asking all other corporates
performance. The team was at the Flagstaff House at the invitation of President John Mahama, who had previously commended them on social media. Vice President Kwesi Bekoe Emisa Arthur, who met the team at the Kotoka International Airport on arrival on Monday, was again on hand with some kind word.
They exorcised Brazil 2014, and they have become once again the darling people of the great people of this country. In their loss, they have stood like giants, and we all appreciate the effort that went into the contest.
For President Mahama, the Black Stars was the best team of the tournament, having swept over 4 prizes despite missing out on the ultimate.
I mean, they improved from match to match, and nobody can take anything away from the Black Stars. They came out the best team in the tournament. It just happens that the cup must go to somebody, but you did us proud, and all of us are happy. I think that the confidence in our stars has been restored. You have redeemed yourselves in the eyes of Ghanaians, and I can assure you that the whole nation is behind you. We can see a great future for this team. We can already see the transformation in the team in terms of the morale of the players, in terms of the discipline that has come back into the camp, and I believe that Mr. Grant and his technical team have done a good job.
Besides the $25,000, President Mahama stated that there were other packages being worked out for the team. The president is hopeful Ghanaians will restore their confidence in the team to spur them on to win the ultimate trophy at the next African Cup of Nations, which Ghana should be hosting in 2017. Gifty Andopia, Joy News, Flagstaff House.
We can do some more from that sports. And meanwhile, Deputy Captain of the senior national football team, Andre Didiayu, says the team's determination to bring back the trophy had nothing to do with whatever monetary compensation was awaiting them. He, however, expressed gratitude to the president for the reward package on behalf of his teammates and assured they would bring home the cup in the very near future.
We would have loved to win the tournament even for nothing, because where we got to, we really wanted to bring the cup home. We are very disappointed that we couldn't bring the cup home, but we are very happy that Ghanaians have faith in us again. And that is what is important for us. I think we have a great football nation with a lot of young players, and the future is bright. It's true that we always say, take what is yours now, because we don't know what's in the future. But in our case, we tried to do that, but we couldn't bring the cup. So we need to work hard again and prepare for the next 2 years. And hopefully it will be hosted in Ghana, and we'll try and get it here. Everybody is disappointed, but I'll bring a cup to Ghana one day, so I'm not worried about that.
Right, and those tears, were they for your father?
No, well, it was just emotional. I think it was for myself, for all Ghanaians, for everything, because we went through difficult qualification, a difficult group stage. Now we get to the final, and to lose the way we lost on penalties is painful. So, but I know that we are going to get ourselves back together and work harder so we can bring this trophy to Ghana very soon.
Well, to the verdict of the 25 million coaches, and some soccer fanatics have reacted angrily to the president's benevolence and suggest the amount involved could have been channeled elsewhere.
About the money to, well, I don't know the content of what they put in them before they said they are going to give each player $25,000. The money has already been given to them, so I don't have what I will say to them. Better luck next time.
It's a lot of money, Charlie. In fact, it's their field. For me, even if I get $1,000, Charlie, what I'm going to use it for? They've done well anyway. So, as if we've been cashed, always second, or we don't even get to the finals. It's so bad.
The money given to the Black Stars, $25,000. I don't really see it to be much because they earn way more than that in their clubs. And if they are here, they came. I heard that whether lose or draw or whatever, they were going to be giving $5,000 per match, whether draw or whatever. So if they've played about 6 or so matches and they are getting about 25,000, well, it's enough.
It's good, but I think the Black Stars have done well. But the money is so, it's too much. So the government must reduce it a little bit. If they give them about 600 or 500 is good.
Looking at the electricity crisis we are in right now, with the doom saw, I don't think they should give that money to them.
I think they deserve more because they really played them heart out. They did well. So the money they deserve them.
All right, so Israel, these are fans who are very, very livid about the fact that that amount of money is going to the Black Stars.
Yeah, I've heard them all right, but I'm also surprised because you see, so Joy Sports went out, and they had this,
guys who were very angry about
these
it.
reactions. But we also, Joy News also went out to speak to the fans, and apparently they had something else to say. Let's listen to them.
As for the money, they deserve it. But about the Dinsop case, it's quite unfortunate the government seems to be working, but we are not seeing anything better.
They deserve it because they were promised for, and then they play and they are supposed to be awarded, definitely, so they deserve it.
I think they deserve it because playing a football game is not easy. Right now, if your leg is broken, it means that you have ended your career. So they deserve the money. In monetary, they deserve it.
Right, so interesting views there. I mean, and I'm wondering, is it that you guys went to speak to sports fans?
Sports fans who understand the real issues. They understand the issues, and you spoke to fans who just love the football. And are just over head and they're over heels because, yes, head over heels because the Black Stars, they thought wouldn't do well, and they went to the final, and we have to give them 25, and we have to give them 50,000, wherever it's coming from. Well, I side with my fans I spoke to, really.
No, but I also think that, well, the Stars, they did good. I mean, it's because we didn't quite expect them to go that far, and they did. They surprised all of us.
No,
they
well,
surprised you.
They didn't surprise the sports fans because okay, let me just take it very short. In the group, Senegal haven't won the African Cup of Nations before. South Africa have won it just once. Algeria had won it just once. Isn't that? Ghana has won it 4 times. We're expected to go through the group, expected to get the semi-final. We beat Guinea, beat Equatorial Guinea, get to the final. There's no trophy. The main thing, trophy, yes, give them $80,000, give them $100,000. Na cup no way. Yeah, who cup? So we're very excited about what they did, but I won't go all the way and give them 25,000.
Okay, I know you're the English fireman.
Yes,
so it's okay. Just go ahead.
And we can also talk some more about it, and then we're looking at the chairman of the Black Stars Management Committee, George Afriye, and he's confident the team will peak in the coming years and win laurels.
Well, we have to build on the positives. We need to build on the positives. I don't want us to be dwelling too much on the few negatives. Let's build on the positive. We have a very good team, fairly balanced youth blend with some experience and old players. If we can improve on maybe the weak spots in the team and then still maintain the squad, I think that the future is very bright for the team.
You say the future is very bright. What will be the promise that you make to Ghanaians?
I don't want to make promises. When I say the future is bright, we'll be winning matches. That's what I can tell you. Winning matches. As a football team, all you want to do is to win matches, and we'll be winning matches.
Would you be able to appreciate the logistics that you might need and what you have available to you as an FA?
Well, as a national team, before a tournament, everything that is required is provided by the government. So I don't think that in terms of logistics, we are short of any logistics. Once we put in a request, it is always provided. So I don't think that this is an area where we have a problem. But when you want to talk of the FA, yes, of course, we need to improve the pitches in this country. We don't have pitches. If we can improve the infrastructure, when I talk about pitches, I mean the fields where we can play football. These days it's becoming very difficult to get a decent field to play football. And football is played on football fields. And so that are things that are with corporate Ghana to help.
Right, just to run by you some of the fixtures are currently ongoing in the English Premier League. Arsenal lead Leicester City by 2-0. Liverpool are drawing 1-0 with Tottenham Hotspur. As a fight for a place in the Champions League is ongoing. That'll be all for sports tonight. I'm George Addy Jr. Israel will join us with international news. You have a good night.